Tonight, it's a special prime time edition of the NFL on EA Sports.
It's week 13 of the NFL, and we're going to see Travis Etienne. He should be a busy man out of the backfield. It's the Jags and the Texans on Thursday night primetime.
With its distinctive swimming pools in the upper deck, there's a look inside Everbank Stadium here in Duval County, Florida. Alongside my partner, Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you look at this Jaguar team. They come in off the extended break from the bye.
I think it was much needed as well. You play 2.5 months, you're ready for some time off to get set for the home stretch.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Texans, they're in a real groove of late. Winners of 5 of their last 6 games. The punter Logan Cook set to start the proceedings, and we are underway here in Jacksonville. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. So out come the Texans for their opening drive. And they'll be led out by a guy who has a couple years under his belt in the NFL, their third-year quarterback.
I tell you what, when he is on schedule for that week, secondaries take notice because you've got to stay alert back there on every snap. A truly powerful arm, one that's capable of challenging any level of the defense on any given play. That's why so many scouts preach arm talent when preparing for the NFL draft. A quarterback with arm strength to make every throw in the book, he's an asset to have in any offense.
It'll go as a loss of a yard on the game's first play. Second down. Here's Stroud. That's complete to his rookie second-round pick. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. A fresh set of downs on a gain of 13 there for the Texans. Stroud out of the gun here. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Christian Kirk, the man he was looking for, but it's going to be second down. You look at this Jaguar defense.
Against the pass, they're hoping to trend in the opposite direction because right now they're ranked number 26 in the NFL.
And I think you're going to see some changes in the offseason, whether it's through the draft, free agency, maybe even both. They definitely need some help in the secondary.
Third down and 6. Here goes Stroud again. Over the middle, and there's a diving catch. And he is going to have a Texans first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
Every coach we ever talk to says to his team before the game, quick start, guys. Let's get out of the gate fast. How about that? They took his lesson to heart, didn't they?
They did exactly that. A nice diving catch here on the game's opening drive. Motion man left is Kirk. Stroud sets up the play action. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Brought to the ground by the linebacker, Foye Oluokun.
A few issues here on the offensive line. Apparently, he got sacked 5 times last week. They got to him here in the first quarter.
And I would think that running the ball would be paramount here because it's a different team they're facing, but they watch the film as well. So they'll take many of those same principles and try and apply them in this.
Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Brought down by multiple defenders, and it's a loss of 12. Now make that a second sack here on their first drive out defensively, and not to get ahead of ourselves, but they're on pace for double-digit sacks at this point.
Well, they're going to have to find a way to tamp that down, aren't they? So if you're the play caller, you're telling your quarterback maybe some screens, maybe some draws, hard count, use your voice inflection a little bit, anything to try and slow that pressure down.
Now on third and forever, he'll look to throw. And he's got his man in stride, complete. It's a gain of 9, but it's also going to mean a punt here on their opening drive.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
And the win last week punted 4 times as this one's away. Fair catch signaled for and taken at about the 15-yard line. So here are the Jags now set to get their first drive. They're led drafted by the #1 overall pick in the 2021 draft, Trevor Lawrence.
And you want to talk about enormous expectations being placed on a quarterback. How about what Trevor Lawrence faced coming out of college? But the good thing for him, he's used to it. He had the same type of expectations leaving high school and going to Clemson. They always expect him to be a franchise savior, whatever team he joins. And to his credit, he shouldered those expectations and is doing everything in his power to follow through.
Holding offense.
So it's the big left tackle who gets tagged with a hold.
And sometimes you're actually executing the block well, and he starts to slip off of you, and instinctively you reach out and grab him. And when it's done like that, it's often seen by the official and called.
And just not much to be had there. 1 yard out to the 10. They go play action with Lawrence. That's complete. It's Brian Thomas. And he'll be taken down, but they've got this one up to the 35-yard line. A first down there on a pickup of 25.
And they were backed up to start the drive, but not anymore. Now, that's the play call that the offensive coordinator had in his head. You saw the end result. He wanted to go ahead and push the ball downfield, and that's what they did. And they wound up with good yardage there to get things rolling.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Here's Lawrence. And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked down and incomplete. The Jaguars at 10-1 now on the year, and they come in off the extended break from the bye.
And I think it was much needed as well because you play 2.5 months. You know you're ready for some time off in order to get prepared for the home stretch. In fact, when they looked at the schedule to start the season, I think they liked where their open week fell.
Call it no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd down.
Red 23. Here we go.
Lawrence. And they'll try and set up the screen to ETN. And he'll be taken down well before the first at about the 36-yard line. They'll get only a yard out of that, and it'll bring up 4th down. On 4th down, on is Logan Cook to punt. And a fair catch called for and made at the 12-yard line. The Texans offense and Nico Collins heading onto the field. And he's right up there amongst the league's best when it comes to racking up receiving yards this season. Currently ranked in the top 5 as things stand here. Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. As mentioned, this one of the hottest teams in the NFL, riding that winning streak into this one, but now playing here on Thursday night. Do you think that this helps or hurts their momentum?
But ordinarily, I'd say it hurts the momentum because now you've got that short week. But when a team's playing as well as they are, it actually allows them to down focus and only worry about themselves and less about their opponent. So when you're playing well, you just worry about the things you're doing well and let the opponent deal with that.
And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. 15 yards, the Texans pick up the first down. That is catch number 300 now for his NFL career. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. Mixing up the middle. And slow going there as he'll only get a yard, maybe, up to the 41. Now we're at the 41, 2nd and 9. Back to throw. Here's Stroud. Dancing to his left. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Devin Lloyd, the one to get home and earn that sack. And that is the 3rd sack this offensive line has allowed this first quarter.
Man, that puts him on pace. Let me do the rudimentary math here. To be sacked 12 times in a game. I know he's not going to go for that. I wonder if it's going to reshape what they decide to do on offense in terms of play calling.
Well, I can tell you what, when he popped up, shaking his head, frustrated right now behind center. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. This one complete to Christian Kirk. Despite a pickup of 16, they're still well short of the sticks on 4th.
I don't know how many times not just in my playing career, but you and I working together, have we ever heard a coach say, you know, I just don't have that play on my call sheet? And that's really what we had here. That was a big hole they were trying to get out of.
Yeah, big gain, still a ways to go, though. 42 yards on the punt, just 2 on the return. And the Jaguars go on offense, first down and 10.
Lisa 24.
Lawrence will throw. A short throw there to Strange.
And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line.
Now, hang on here a second. Looks like a Jaguar in some obvious discomfort from that last play. Well, now they're going to come out and take a look at this injury, and we'll be back in a moment.
Washington in motion left.
He's going to get it on the jet sweep. Oh, and this one may need to go back to the drawing board. He's going to be swallowed up right away.
2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Well, as a wideout, when you take that handoff and you're coming around the edge, you're expecting to see nothing but empty space in front of you. But if not...
well, things can go south in a hurry, and that's exactly what we saw on that play with a loss.
And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30.
Well, this defense for the Texans, they were terrific in the win over Tennessee a week ago.
Yeah, and what stood out to me on tape, the way they were flying to the football. So that tells me that they've got all their assignments down, and they're playing with extreme confidence.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
Great vision there by Lawrence as he scrambles for a first down.
Now that's a quarterback who's in charge out there right now. Wants to throw the ball on 3rd down, doesn't find anyone open, tucks it away, takes off, and picks up the first down. Not by a little, but by plenty.
That's caught by Munn. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down.
2 yards to go, 2nd down. ETN up the middle.
And he goes across midfield and down into Houston territory. It'll be a gain of 2 on the play, but they'll remain a few inches short here with 3rd down looming.
They'll run with ETN.
And able to pick up the first across midfield to the 47.
I don't know about you, but that almost felt like old-time football there. 3rd and 2 is not necessarily just a running down anymore. A lot of times they want to throw the ball. They went back to the roots and powered forward and got the first down.
And a big loss here as he's taken down.
Darrell Taylor able to record his 5th sack of the season.
Well, many times when you talk about mobile quarterbacks, you get the sense that they feel like they can get out of any bad situation. They keep moving around and trying to emulate guys like the Scrambler or the Dodger. Instead, they keep losing yardage and digging themselves a hole that they can't get out of.
After the sack, they're staring at a challenge basically from the other side of town. It's 2nd and a country mile. That was the 9th play of the drive, and they pick up 9 yards with it.
Partner was a definite passing down, but he was able to leak out and pick up some good yardage, even though the coverage was excellent. Maybe it's not exactly how they drew it up, but he still got a big chunk of yardage on 2nd down.
And that ball incomplete, nearly intercepted. Took a chance with that one. It'll lead to a 4th down.
Here's Logan Cook now to punt this one away. It'll be a 39-yard punt, 4 on the return, and the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here.
We've seen both of these offenses still sort of in that figuring things out phase, but I suspect some action on the scoreboard soon as they start out here 1st and 10.
Firing quickly here, and that's complete. That'll go for a gain of 7, and it'll be 2nd down. Inside handoff to Mixon. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there.
9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down.
We're scoreless after one. Texans football to start quarter 2 as they've got it with a 1st and 10. As Stroud now to throw. His throw incomplete. Nico Collins, the intended receiver. That'll bring up 2nd down. Stroud. Throw right side, taken in by Collins. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. Give him 17 on the pickup there, and the Texans also get a new set of downs. That's what we're used to seeing from him right there. Plays like that, why he's number 4 in the league in terms of receiving yardage.
Able to make adjustments all along the way. Doesn't matter where he lines up, where he releases from. Working his way into the secondary, figures out defenses and finds weak spots in order to get open.
They'll run with Mixon. And nothing much materializing there on the 1st down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it. From just across the midfield stripe, here's a 2nd and 8. Stroud looking to throw. It'll go as a gain of 4. And they're going to have a 3rd down.
That might feel like a little bit of a lost opportunity there for the offense because the defense brought pressure that time. And sometimes against that, you can get out to your running back, and it can turn into a big gain downfield. But what a nice job they did getting to him quickly and holding him to a short gain.
And he's going to have another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Jaguars' 30. Texans passing game in rhythm right now, picking up another 1st. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Now Stroud. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down. Throwing now is Stroud. Being chased out left. And he's going to lose a yard or 2. Taken down behind the line. The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 11. Stroud to throw it. Now a loose football. The ball comes out, and the Jags grab it. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
I don't know about you, but I'm going to go to the positive side this time. Yeah, there was a fumble at the end of this one, but what a sustained drive. And if they keep stringing those together, you got to like their chances.
And credit the defense, though. You're out there for that long, you start to get tired, but they were able to get the turnover.
Did you just credit the defense?
I like to credit the defense and the offense.
I like you.
And the analysts.
That's perfect.
The Jaguars offense and Trevor Lawrence getting set for this next drive. And he's been a real threat in the red zone and beyond. As you take a look at the NFL leaders in rushing touchdowns by a QB, you'll notice he's worked his way into the top 5 at this point in the season. So that one overturned. They say the knee was down, and that will not be ruled a fumble.
They'll look to throw now on 1st down.
And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's 2nd down.
They go back to the ground now with Mixon. They stopped after only a yard, taking it down to the 14. Now keep in mind, if you're thinking of staying on the ground, this is a top 5 rush defense.
Yeah, but I don't think you shy away totally with the run. At least show them the hint of a run before you decide to throw the football.
From the gun on 3rd down, Stroud.
He'll drop this one down to Mixon.
And a pretty nice tackle there, ranging up from his free safety spot as he'll stop him about a yard short. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and that'll bring up 4th down. Looking to throw. Stroud. And he's brought down. Can't do anything with a football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. The Texans tried it, but they come up empty here on fourth. And this long drive is going to wind up yielding nothing. And they've now made 2 trips to the red zone and still looking for their first touchdown.
Not able to punch it in, and if you're on defense, your confidence is sky high. Because mentally, you're saying, hey, you're in the red zone. We're thinking we're giving up 3. We just want to give up 6. In this case, they end up not giving up the touchdown at all. They've got to feel great about what they got done.
They go play action now. Lawrence. He'll get that underneath Etienne.
Call it a gain of 6 on the play, and that's going to bring up second down.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
That throw complete to his tight end Long.
And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on third down.
3rd down and 1. Straight ahead, Etienne.
And he will be very close to a first down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means 4th down.
They tried their best to pick up that 3rd and 1, but their surge wasn't enough to counteract what came back at them from the defensive side, was it?
Offensive line, especially in the middle, looked like they were on skates a little bit when that one started.
So now we bring up 4th and inches. This will be a critical call.
The Cook now on to punt as he gets this one away.
It's a return of 4 following a 42-yard punt.
And the Texans will take over. Houston set to take over. They've got some stuff to build on from that last drive because they moved the football, CD, and then they tried to go for it on 4th down, didn't convert, probably left a bitter taste in their mouths.
I would say so, and I think that they go out in this series determined for that not to happen again. In fact, they don't even want to get to a 4th down opportunity. They just want to make sure they get it done within the parameters that they've set for themselves. Run their offense, get it into the end zone. Yeah, I think a little bit of determination and a dash of anger.
A shotgun snap to Stroud.
Man open, that's complete to Dalton Schultz. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory.
Well, hang on here a second. Looks like a Jaguar in some obvious discomfort from that last play. And they'll go play action here with Stroud.
And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete.
Here's 2nd and 10.
Here we go.
The throwing again is Stroud.
And he finds his target. It's Schultz. 9 yards, and that leaves him just short, so it'll be 3rd and less than a yard.
Here's Stroud. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he is going to have a Texans first down, maybe by about a yard as they find a way to convert on 3rd and inches. Stroud working out of the gun.
And this is going to be incomplete.
Offense was moving it a little bit, had them back on their heels, but they earned a brief pause by forcing the incompletion. That gives them a quick chance to regroup and try and mount a stand before they're backed up even further.
That's complete. It's Collins. And he'll be upended at the 33 following a gain of 3. And guess what? It brings up 3rd down. Got to get to the 26 for a first. This is 3rd down.
Again, it's Stroud. Another one caught by Collins. And he is going to have a Texans first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Now after the play, it looks like there's a Texan here slow to get up.
So as the medical staff takes a look, we'll step aside.
Back to throw again. That's going to be caught by Kirk. So the completion good for 6 yards, and it'll be 2nd down.
Back to throw. Here's Stroud.
He finds his man complete. That's Schultz. That good for 6 as they keep this drive right on rolling.
From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10.
Again, he'll drop to throw.
That's caught again by Schultz.
It'll be a gain of just a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. Mixon will try the right side. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. They wind up losing a couple there, so they go behind the original line of scrimmage, and now 3rd and 11 coming up.
They're backed up here. Tough spot, needing 11 yards to pick up the first.
From the gun on 3rd down, Stroud. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
They converted twice on 3rd down that drive already, but couldn't make it a 3rd. We always talk about in-game adjustments. How about what the defense did there, able to shut them down on that attempt?
Fairbairn able to put this one through. And it's now 3-0 Texans. So they get the 3 points, but they've now had 3 trips into the red zone, and that's all they've come away with.
And in the NFL, the way they measure red zone efficiency and success, did you score touchdowns on those drives? That's first and foremost. Getting points, that's the second measurement. So by that measure, they haven't done very well. They've got to figure that out.
And out a little across the 25 to the 27. Jacksonville back on offense and ready to take over. They're riding a 2-game winning streak into this Thursday nighter. How easy is it when you're on a roll to stay on a roll given the quick turnaround?
Well, you would think it'd be pretty easy because everyone's locked in practice and meetings because everyone feels good about themselves. And for coaches, this is where they have to tell themselves, don't add too much. Don't worry about game plans as much as players. So look at your play sheet and think, give it to the guys who play best, and don't worry about the rest of it.
Holding offense.
So not quite a first down just yet as they come up on 2nd and less than a yard.
Now Lawrence. And they'll try and set up the screen to ETN.
And he'll get nothing out of that one. That helps the completion percentage, but not much else, and now it's 3rd and 10.
Hey, easy, route. Here we go.
Lawrence. Screenplay. Here's ETN.
And he is going to lose yardage here. They'll wind up losing a couple yards here on the play, and that's going to bring up a 4th down. Well, you can see what they wanted to do. They wanted to set up the screen there, but it got blown up.
It's hard to run that play if you're not getting a lot of pressure at the quarterback because the space doesn't open up. They were able to read that one and slow it down and stop it before they could get a first down.
Here's Logan Cook now as he's on to punt for the 4th time tonight. So a change of possession here on the punt.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. This offense headed back out, captained, of course, by their quarterback. And he's done everything you could have asked for coming in. He's spread it around. He hasn't taken many chances. And he's potentially on his way to a big game throwing the football. And that throw behind his man. He missed him. Incomplete.
The defender certainly didn't forget about him leaking out of the backfield. There was a guy ready and waiting to pick him up in coverage, and that throw had no shot.
Stroud.
Got a man, and he hits him in stride. That'll leave him with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there.
And Stroud now to throw. He's got his running back out of the backfield.
And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. Well, they were in search of a short gain on 3rd down, and they wind up nabbing over 20 yards.
And I like the idea here. Get the ball in his hands, even if it's in the passing game. 3 catches a week ago, and he does a nice job here to pick up yardage.
Could we get a touchdown in this first half after all? It's 1st and 10.
Stroud looking to throw.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the Jags grab it. And they will set up shop at their own 46-yard line. So he went out of the pocket left, and then things got dicey.
And what often happens is when they get outside, they want to keep their eyes downfield in order to try and complete a pass. But when they try to make a play, they've got to get their footwork involved, and that can really mess them up as well. And in this case, nothing went right, and the ball got knocked free.
The Jags going to go on offense now late in this first half. And with good starting field position and 3 timeouts as well in their pocket, no reason not to try and put a late scoring drive together.
Now they go screen. It's complete. The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout as they'll stop it with 40 seconds remaining in this first half.
Targeting Thomas on the out route, making the catch.
Now the Jags will use the second of their timeouts. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime.
Here's Lawrence. Open man, complete downfield to Davis.
And down to the 20 he'll go before heading out of bounds. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20. The Jags with their first opportunity in the red zone. 1st and 10 right at the 20.
Lawrence going to throw again.
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down.
Darrell Taylor able to drop him that time for his 2nd sack of the evening.
The Jaguars now will use the last of their timeouts. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17.
Now Lawrence to throw. To the sideline and incomplete.
What a sequence there defensively. You get the sack to move him to 3rd and long. Then here, just nothing available. And he's got to throw it away.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And he's going to go down. They get to him back at the 40.
Will Anderson gets in there to drop him for a loss of 13 yards, and it's also 4th down now.
So we've hit halftime. Just a field goal separating these two teams at the break. As we now go downstate to Orlando and check in with Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. We'll get back to you and CD in a minute.
All right, Coach, thanks. Yeah, both teams likely to make some changes in what's been a closely fought battle to this point.
These offenses seemingly still back at the hotel for the first half. 3-0 our score as the second half gets underway.
And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28.
Out come the Jaguars now as they'll go on offense first here in this 3rd quarter.
And they're still very much in this game, although they do trail. What's the game plan, Charles, for the second half?
It might be a little counterintuitive because most people will think losing equals passing the ball more, but I'd establish the running game. They kind of went away from it in the first half. I think if they get back in balance, it'll help them when they put the ball back in the air.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12.
On the slant, he's got Davis.
It'll go down as a gain of 6, and they're going to face a 3rd down. And they'll send the tight end in motion here.
Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he will have a Jaguars first down as he's able to get 8 yards there on 3rd and 5.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a first down.
Going quickly here to Thomas. And that's good for a gain of 6, and it's 2nd down.
On red.
Now Lawrence.
This one caught by Davis. That one a first down pickup of 8.
A handoff for ETN.
And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
Here's Lawrence to throw. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. Well, a nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up third down. Lawrence will throw. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he is going to have a Jags first down as he's able to get about 3 that time on 3rd and inches.
Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10.
Looking to throw, Lawrence.
Got his man complete over the middle. That's Davis. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8. 2nd and 2.
From the 24 now, here's 2nd down and 2. Off the option, here's Etienne.
And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line.
They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Able to make something out of nothing there. 17 yards and a first down.
Has not been a big game for him throwing the football. I think he feels like, let's try something different. Let's use the legs here and see if we can make some plays.
And no passing touchdowns, yardage not where he would like it. Try something new. It worked there.
Touchdown, Jaguars! Hunter Warren, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Jaguars have taken the lead as they go right down the field and score on the opening drive of the second half.
You get down near the goal line, this is where having a sure-handed tight end becomes a luxury, and it pays off big time, especially when the defense sells out against the run, and he finds himself open for an easy touchdown.
Point after here coming up. And this is up and good to make it 7-3. So that drive, 12 plays in length, and it results in a touchdown for Jacksonville.
After the touchdown, Cook now to kick this one away. And they will wrangle him down a couple yards shy of the 30. So now out comes this offense led by their quarterback as they take over once more. And it's been a rough night at the office for him. He's been more of a liability than an asset throughout the contest. And this offense is having a hard time overcoming his struggles to this point. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And they'll be working from behind now following the touchdown a moment ago on the opening drive of the half.
I think the guys right now, as they go out on offense, they're zeroing in on one big key. They don't have to do anything differently just because they're down on the scoreboard now. The intent, still the same in what they plan to do on offense.
Here's Stroud.
A short one going to be taken in here by Schultz. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds.
The time called here because a member of the Texans is in some discomfort. While they come out and take a look at him, we will step aside for just a moment.
So in Jacksonville territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 46.
Looking for the out route here, and it's completed to Kirk.
And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40.
From the 38 now, here's 2nd and a couple. Throwing now is Stroud.
And that's incomplete.
Timing's crucial in any route thrown, but when you throw an out, so many things are going through the mind of the receiver. Catching the ball, timing it up with the quarterback. Are my feet going to get down inbounds? On that play, all those things going through his head might have caused him to drop it.
Just a gain of a couple, but good enough to keep the drive rolling.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secured before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
Now they contend with a 2nd and 12 after the loss. Once again, they run with Mixon.
And that one opened up for him well as he'll take this down to the 26-yard line.
That's good for a Texan first down, a 12-yard pickup.
Play action. Here's Stroud. Catch is made. It's Schultz on the out route.
And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first.
I love the drive they're working on here because they know they can take the lead with a touchdown. And so far on this drive, so good. They've moved the ball down the field with very little resistance defensively. But they better be prepared for some adjustments to come their way now.
Stroud to throw it.
This will be caught at about the 6. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
From the 4, it's 2nd and a couple. Now Stroud.
And that's going to be knocked away in the end zone. It's incomplete.
As a corner, you have to be able to run with guys step for step downfield at man coverage and make up ground quickly in zone. You have to put yourself in position to make plays, just like that one we saw there.
That is caught.
And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving.
Mixon. Touchdown, Houston. Hard to argue with that being their best drive of the game so far as they use the running game to get them into the end zone.
Couldn't agree more, partner. Prior to that drive, they sputtered a little bit, but it looks like they found the formula. I would expect them to go back to that more and more as this game develops.
Kaimi Fairbairn on for the extra point. And it's through, and that makes the lead 10-7. That one in the books as a 12-play drive. And it all culminated in the touchdown run coming from Joe Mixon. Now a crease here as he's past the 30.
And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line.
Out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here. They had gotten the lead with the opening drive touchdown in the third quarter. Now they relinquish that lead back. Could be in for an interesting second half.
It certainly appears that way, doesn't it? Almost turning into one of those pendulum games, right, where it swings back and forth, and who's going to make the play that changes that maybe it puts it on one side and keeps it there.
Play action. It's Lawrence.
And he'll protect himself at the end here as he winds up getting pretty decent yardage. Give him 7 there on the tuck and run, and they're in better shape now for third.
Hey, go!
Here's a give to Etienne.
And he brings this up to the 46. Good enough for the first. Just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive.
Lawrence.
And down he goes at the 45 after a pickup of 9.
And he's the epitome of what we call the move tight end, a guy that you can line up anywhere, in the slot, out wide, in tight, doesn't really matter because he has such great skills. You want to utilize him in all aspects of your passing offense.
And there he was in the slot for the catch. They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold.
Now Lawrence.
Under pressure, and the Texans able to get in there for the sack. They bring the safety on the blitz, and he busts through to drop him for an 8-yard loss.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in 3rd and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
So now after the sack of Lawrence, the Jags looking at a 3rd and long.
Out of the gun now on 3rd down.
And that almost intercepted. Oh, they would have loved to have their first pick of the game right there, but at least it does get them to 4th down.
Here's Logan Cook now, as he'll come on for his 5th kick of the night. A 45-yard punt, 4 there on the return.
And they will take over 1st and 10. The Texans offense and C.J. Stroud getting ready for this next drive. And he's been a nightmare to scheme against throughout this one. This defense has been totally taken apart, and that is borne out in his numbers. He's been terrific all game long.
And he's got his favorite target yet again. It's complete. And he is brought down at the 22 after a gain of 2, and it brings up 2nd down. From the 22, here's 2nd and 8.
Stroud.
Open man is Kirk, complete. And he is out of bounds right around the 34. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. From the gun, a give to Mixon. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him, so when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a 1st down. Again, it's Mixon. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. So a loss of 5, and it'll be 2nd down.
On running plays, linemen, of course, have their assignments. That's expected. But it's not often you're expecting to see a cornerback blitzing in run support and tackling the runner for a loss.
And Stroud now to throw.
Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. And he'll be brought down at what's going to turn out to be the final play of this 3rd quarter. 1 quarter remains here in this Thursday night matchup. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Jacksonville. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the 4th quarter.
From the gun on 3rd down, here's Stroud. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he is going to have a Texans 1st down as this defense unable to hold. It's a 7-yard gain there on 3rd and 2.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a 1st down.
That's pulled in by Brooks. And he got blown up, losing yardage on the play back at the 44. But despite the completion, they're going to wind up losing 3 there. 2nd down.
Well, if you're going to turn things around in a game like this, Charles, those are the kind of plays that you need.
And I just love the way that defense rallied to the football on that one. They got the completion, but he was smothered behind the line of scrimmage. And when you make tackles like that, your whole defense is going to be fired up. Really nice play getting to the ball.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
Back to throw. Here's Stroud.
And he's taken down inside the 30. Able to make something out of nothing there. 17 yards and a 1st down.
Now that's a killer because you think you've got it absolutely covered, and then he hot-foots it out of there and picks up a 1st down. Drives you crazy as a defense.
Looked like, you're exactly right. Looked like a 4 sure stop on 3rd, and then the tables turn. Throw right side is going to be caught by Kirk. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down.
Just need a yard here. 2nd and 1. Stroud looking to throw.
All that gets him is just a yard, and now it's 3rd down.
The plan was clearly to challenge them by sending a blitz on second down, but even the extra guys couldn't catch him in the backfield, though. He doesn't scramble for it first, but he does get the last laugh by evading the blitz and getting beyond the line of scrimmage.
And he is going to have a Texans first down, maybe by about a yard as they find a way to convert on 3rd and inches.
How about this offensive line? They're really starting to establish themselves, take over this game.
And before the series began, I know exactly what we said in the defensive huddle. Guys, we got to get no less than a 3-and-out. Let's get off the field and stick.
Under pressure, and he'll go down back at the 26-yard line.
Josh Hines-Allen in there to drop him, and that is the 7th time tonight that he has gone down.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle. Mixon on the toss right. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28.
Holding offense.
The offense knew it. They were already starting to walk back as that one is accepted.
Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty. Back to throw. Stroud.
And that's going to be incomplete.
With a dime look on defense, 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That'll allow them to disrupt the play.
Now on 3rd and forever, he'll look to throw. That's going to be caught by Kirk. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. Calling a loss of 2 there on the play. And that's going to make it 4th down. And he missed it. It's no good. And that will keep this a 3-point game. Maybe an important 4th quarter miss as this stays a 3-point game.
Yeah, now overtime is very much in the equation here. Just what you mentioned, a 3-point game. They get a drive, put it through the posts. We could have some free football, couldn't we?
And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go.
Their defense was able to hold serve, albeit with a little help from that missed field goal as they settle in now 1st and 10.
They'll send a receiver here in motion right.
They go play action now. Lawrence.
And bringing it in, it's Davis. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. 23 yards, the final tally.
And here we are in the 4th quarter, partner, and watch them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there. Not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. That one unable to develop, never got going. A loss of a couple, and it's 2nd down.
Hey.
Now Lawrence to throw. That's complete to Parker Washington.
And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. The Jaguars on 3rd down. They've converted 5 times in their many chances thus far. They're looking at 3rd and a few inches.
Handoff running left is Etienne.
And he's going to have a first down here as he gets this one to the 17-yard line. Give him the 3rd down conversion, 5 yards on the play.
So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. Etienne once more.
And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line.
Azeez Al-Shaair in to make the stop. Second down and 6 now. From the gun, Bigsby.
And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. 3 yards is half of what they needed. Now can they get the other 3 here on 3rd down?
Lawrence will throw. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And the Jaguars are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points.
That's not the first time they've looked his way when they've needed a big play. He's been the go-to guy all game long. and they give the hook up again on 3rd down to keep this drive alive.
Now Lawrence. To the end zone, but knocked away and incomplete.
Oh, I like the calmness of how he played the ball here. No panic in his eyes as that throw arrived. Tracked it from the moment it left the quarterback's hand, and that's just where he needed to be to knock it away.
Here's Lawrence. Got his man, it's caught. Touchdown, Jaguars. Hunter Long with his 2nd touchdown of the game and 5th on the year. And the Jaguars have taken a 4th quarter lead. And, Charles, they continue to have trouble stopping him as he's into the end zone yet again.
Yeah, that's multiple series now that have ended with him in the end zone.
And now remember, all touchdowns are reviewed, and in a tight game like this, they're going to take a good long look at it. They're taking a peek at whether or not those feet were in bounds, and obviously a big call here in the end zone.
And not just the feet. How about the hands? How's the ball assessed by the feet? Getting down in bounds. That's what they're trying to look at to see if it all comes together.
So they called it a touchdown originally, and this will stay a touchdown after the video review, so they had it right.
Extra point splits the uprights, and the lead is now 14-10.
After the touchdown, Cook now to kick this one away. And he'll take it a yard or so past the 20, call it the 21. The Texans offense and their quarterback ready to go once more. And he has been masterful so far in leading this offense. He's kept the mistakes to a minimum. He's been on point with his passes, and he's generally been one step ahead of this defense all game long.
Quick hitter here, it's complete. That'll go for a gain of 7, and that will bring up 2nd down. A handoff, running left, Mixon. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here.
52 yards rushing for him now on 17 carries.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
Again, it's Mixon.
And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down.
Holding offense.
They get Cam Robinson the tackle there. Here's Stroud. Finds his man. It's John Mechie.
So the completion results there in 9 yards. And that'll make it 2nd down. Here's a give to Mixon. And he's going to be stopped up quickly here. Just a yard up to the 39. This a big play for both sides. What will we see here? 3rd and 4.
Throwing now is Stroud. He's got his target. That's complete. And he is going to have a Texans 1st down. He needed 5. He got it barely, as it will officially go down as a gain of 5 yards.
Looking to throw. Stroud.
Good coverage downfield led to him taking off, picking up the 1st down on a 13-yard run.
This is where the NFL is headed year by year, partner. A league where just about everyone has someone under center who can get you with their legs as well as their arm. And we've certainly had a nice display of that from both QBs in this game. And that continued with that 1st down run.
Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it.
Over the middle, that's caught by Mechie.
And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or 2 shy of the 30.
All 3 timeouts plus the 2-minute warning. Here's 1st and 10. Stroud to throw it. Repeat of the last play, going to Mechie here.
And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done.
Here's 1st and 10. Stroud to throw it. And he's got it. And the Texans are looking at 1st and goal as he's tackled all the way down at the 2-yard line. Now 1st and goal. They'll give it to Mixon, and he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. Joe Mixon with his 9th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Texans answer back with a touchdown of their own to take a 4th-quarter lead.
And this is a time of game where offensive lines can really dictate a team's fortunes. It's been a tough battle. They've been out there for a long time. But this was a question of who can wear down who. And that's excellent work to put a long drive together and finish it with the touchdown run to take the lead.
A 10-play drive that time. And it all culminated in the touchdown run coming from Joe Mixon. Out is the Texans kick team as they'll send this one away.
And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. This is 1st and 10.
Hey, run! Silver!
Back to throw. Lawrence. And that's complete to Davis.
Gosh, given the time in the short game, would he have been better off just dropping that?
Yeah, when you look at the clock, you think so. But it's hard to get a receiver to drop a football. They're trained to catch everything.
The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds left to go in the game.
Throwing now, Lawrence. And that is caught. It's Davis. Now the Jags will use the second of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in the 4th. Got his man. It's the tight end Strange with it.
And he is out of bounds inside the 30.
Here's 2nd down.
Hey, let's go. Here we go.
Here's Lawrence.
This one caught by Davis. The Jaguars now will use the last of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 seconds to go in the game.
Final minute. No timeouts at their disposal. Here's 1st and 10. Lawrence. A throw on the run, but that's going to be incomplete.
Whew, that's certainly not the worst thing. It stops the clock and lets your offense catch its breath and lets us exhale a little bit. Now I expect them to call a couple plays in the huddle so they're ready if a tackle happens inbounds.
And that one to the right side and incomplete.
Now we're in the situation where the quarterback's got to take full charge of his huddle. Got to totally command it, make sure all eyes are on him. All focus is locked in. Going to call multiple plays and go over different situations and scenarios.
He takes it across for the touchdown, and they've taken the lead late in the final minute of the 4th. Wow.
CD, that was an all-or-nothing drive to win this football game, and they rose to the occasion to take the lead here in the waning moments.
And how about how they got it done? No timeouts left. They take it downfield, execute perfectly, and get it done. Now they don't leave their opponent with a heck of a lot of time on the clock.
Extra point right down the middle, and that will make this a 4-point game. So that drive goes 8 plays.
And it's capped off by the late touchdown that puts them out in front here in the final minute of the contest. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return.
The Texans offense now, they get set to head back onto the field. We have seen a lot of points here in this quarter. For us up here in the booth, it's been fun to watch. The defensive coordinators probably scratching their heads.
Yeah, they're going a little bit crazy right now, but let's face it, all of our friends who play fantasy, they're enjoying the heck out of this show because most of them are creating and getting a bunch of points.
Yeah, points certainly not at a premium here. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as they stop it with 14 seconds to go in the game. Here as he's taken down. Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play.
Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete.
Now they do indeed get the timeout, so all is not lost. They'll have a chance for one final heave to the end zone. And the Jags get to him as down he goes.
A fun, close ball game comes to an end. On that last play, Charles, they were on the wrong side of midfield. They needed something near a miracle, and they couldn't get it done.
Yeah, the effort, that was good. Very good, in fact. They were just a little too far out to get a decent look at the end zone for that last opportunity. Couldn't get it done, but a nice game overall.
So for the Jaguars, they continue to keep pace for that first-round bye as they move to 11-1. And they'll get another home date next week as the Raiders will come to town. Meanwhile, for the Texans, it's a loss that could wind up costing them a first-round bye as they dip to 9-3. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time right here. It's the NFL on EA Sports.